right, guys, Darren here from Daily Driving Hoopties. Welcome back. We are today in my 2004 Chevrolet Avalanche. Here we are in it. I'm going to try to do this episode a little bit different. I have a little bit of footage from an off-roading event where I gave this truck some Arizona pinstripes. So we'll put a little bit of that footage in there. We're going to do just the general overview of this thing. I'm not going to take it all apart. It's just a little bit too much. If you guys do want me to do like taking the truck apart and showing you how it all comes apart back there, put it down in the comments. I'll definitely do one if you guys want it. But anyways, here we are. We're in my 2004 Chevrolet Avalanche, and this thing it's interesting, to say the least. It's a Suburban, essentially. This is a 1500 model, so it's got a 5.3 LS motor. You guys I'm posting the SSR video before this, so you'll know my feelings on LS motors. They're all right, but I'm just good off of computers. But this one's a unique one. So it has 224,936 miles on it right now, presently. I put 136 miles on it today. I went out to the Flabob Airport, or Flabob Airport. I don't know how to say that. I'll figure it out shortly. I checked out a couple DC3s. That was really cool. We're going to get that episode posted up tonight. But as for what we're doing here today right now, so we're now in Fullerton, California. Right behind me is actually where Fender Guitars actually started. So Fullerton, if you don't know, Fender Guitars is from Fullerton. I forget what Mr. Fender's first name was, but Fender Guitars, they originated here in Fullerton, and this is where they grew up and became the company that they are today. Behind me is actually a little museum in Fullerton. They have a permanent exhibit for Fender Guitars here, just to kind of tell that history. So after Corona's done, please come check it out. It's totally a cool place. I try to come like once every year or so, just to check it out. But back to the Avalanche. 04 LS motor, 4L60E that's been rebuilt. Rear end's been rebuilt. Motor needs to be rebuilt. Four-wheel drive is there, but it does some freaky, has a mind of its own. As for the interior, it's relatively clean. The headliner's pretty clean, not sagging at all. This seat is destroyed, so we'll show you that here in a second. But as for the vehicle as a whole, this thing is solid, guys. If you need a utility vehicle that you don't really have the want for a truck, but you don't really want a Suburban, this is definitely kind of the solid middle ground. Taking that whole thing out and apart gives you an 8-foot bed. Oh, excuse me. Did a lot of driving today. I'm sorry. But yeah, so this thing actually turns into an 8-foot bed and becomes pretty useful. It becomes a single cab pickup truck, essentially. With it all down and folded back. It's kind of got, what I think happened was somebody looked at a Blazer from like the K5 era and was like, we could do something like that, but different. And I feel like that's how this thing kind of was born. It's bizarre. I definitely am happier that this is a later model one, being that it doesn't have the cladding, all that plasticky stuff on the side that made it look like a Pontiac Aztek. Not hating on the Aztek. I actually would love to have a Pontiac Aztek. LS swaps, another one that might be fun, the Pontiac Aztek. But as for this Avalanche, these things are actually really solid trucks, man. I'm thoroughly impressed by it. It's got 224,000 miles. It's almost 225,000 miles on it. The check engine light's been on for 150,000 of those miles. We bought it at 160,000, I believe, and it had the check engine light already. This truck has a really strange miss that has not been able to be diagnosed. So I know it needs cats. So eventually I'll do cats on it. But the Oh, excuse me. Oh, I'm so tired. I hope I'm not making anybody yawn on the other side of the blogosphere here. But this motor's had a miss in it since day one that we got it. I'm driving it till it blows up. I don't care. I don't have to have it pass smog. It doesn't have to do any of that. It's just a workhorse. So we drive this thing. It's a grocery getter. I went and got some wheels with it today. I pulled a trailer with it today. It's my workhorse. My dad uses it all the time. My mom uses it. My crew cab dually's out of service right now with all of my recycling because California hasn't opened recycling centers yet. Allegedly one opened like last week, so hopefully I can take my recycling, but I'll have to take a picture of it because I have a crew cab dually with an 8-foot bed that probably has, well, it's not probably, it's 7 months of recycling since coronavirus hit. So it might be even a little longer. It might be 9 months. I mean, I don't think I went to recycling in January, so I probably have a year's worth of recycling in the back of my truck right now. So truck's a little out of service. We'll do an episode on it eventually. It's a C3500 two-wheel drive big block crew cab. Really clean inside. The outside's definitely seen some days. Cool dents. I got some stories for them. So another day, another time. Back to this thing. Interior, actually, for a GM product, this thing is pretty nice. They give you an armrest. They didn't give you one on the left, but they give you the door, so I guess I'm okay with that. Really nice steering wheel. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. I don't mean to yawn so much this episode. But steering wheel's nice, has the controls on it. One thing I do like about this thing is it has the XM radio built in to the head unit. One thing if I ever, I hate getting cars with aftermarket radios. If you put an aftermarket radio in a car, you're my least favorite person. My 01 Suburban has an aftermarket radio solely for the point that the amplifier in the dash went bad. And when that happened, they were still like $700-800. So I had to put an aftermarket radio in it at the time. And I actually do have the module, so if I ever do have to go back in there, I am going to rewire the original radio back up into it because I cannot stand aftermarket radios and radios with screens in them. I'm not a screen person when it comes to my cars. Please keep your computers on your desks, people. They do not belong on dashes. As we keep going through this thing, the air conditioning works, the heater works. I got heated seats. It has Twilight Sentinel. The headlights actually just turned on because the sun's gone down a little bit. It has heated mirrors. It's got the turn signals in the mirrors. And I think we only paid like $1,500, maybe $2,000 for this thing a couple of years ago. And obviously we've thrown a little bit of money at it. We had to do a rear end. I think we did the transmission in it. I've done 2 water pumps on it, maybe just 1. I've done a radiator on it, countless oil changes. I think it does need a power steering line or a brake booster because I do have a little bit of a mess under the hood. We'll check it out when we go outside. But all in all, this generation of truck is pretty impressive. I mean, I put these in the 90s trucks definitely on the same par of reliability and just things that break. Things don't really break. You can definitely see where they cheaped out on these with a little bit of plastic stuff. And I definitely prefer the 90s generation Suburbans and trucks, but these aren't bad. They definitely have more creature comforts. The heated seats just nice. The XM radio is nice. So would I get another one of these? Yes, definitely. I actually do want to get an 8.1 version of this truck. So they actually made a 2500 version of this. I'll put a picture of it up right up here. But they put an 8.1 liter and made them in both 4-wheel drive and 2-wheel drive in an Avalanche. So that's what I'd like to eventually get. Like I said, this one's just in the fleet right now. I don't think I'll ever get rid of it. I'll probably fix it if it ever blows up. I'm not a fan of new cars, so it's like, why would I go buy something new when I could throw less money at something old and know it's going to last me the same amount of time? That's my problem with some of these cars, is you work on them and it's just like constant working on stuff for no reason. And you're never going to fix some of the things on some of these like newer BMWs and even the Chevys and the Cadillacs. They just have BS that goes wrong with them, and I'm just cool. I have no interest in it. To avoid the problem, I avoid the situation, and I think it's the best way for me. But like I said, these trucks are the best trucks out there, I think, because they're still usable. The new trucks, they all look the same, A. And B, I don't know when the industry standard of a truck bed becoming 5.5 feet tall so you can't throw anything in over the side became standard, but the trucks are useless. They're completely useless. You put screens in them. It's like, I don't want to scratch my truck. Then why did you buy a truck? Like, it's crazy. And when you're spending $16,000, $70,000 for a truck, I get it. I wouldn't want to go drive that thing either and use it as a truck. That's why I buy $5,000 hoopties, and we're daily driving hoopties. I love my hoopties. I think it's definitely a lifestyle. But you're never going to convince me that a car with a screen is better. It's just not in any way, shape, and form. Is it more powerful? Definitely, probably. Is it faster? Definitely, probably. Is it safer? Definitely, probably. Do I have any interest in it? Not at all. Just zero. Maybe when I have a family, yes. But I have no interest in some of these cars. And even in this car, I still have side impact airbags. I still have airbags. I still have all these safety equipment on it. I just don't have all these sensors constantly beeping at me telling you, hey, you're in somebody else's lane. Hey, you're getting kind of close to somebody. Hey, I'm going to hit the brakes for you because you're getting a little close. I am good. I don't need the car to tell me how to drive. I've determined if you're the kind of person that wants to have a self-driving car, they make them. They're called buses. Go get on one. Or if you claim you want to have a status symbol, hire a driver. It's that simple. But don't tell me you don't want to drive. If you don't want to drive, you want to take the bus. That's what you want to do. So self-driving cars and these cars that do all these things for you, it's just not my gig. So these generation of cars kind of are the last of the generations that I like. And as I said, all the new ones are really just a regurgitation of everything that's on this truck. The LS motor and the LT motor share a lot of not components, but design elements. I'm pretty sure the rods are actually the same from LS to LT. The transmissions are pretty much the same on some of them. I think we're up to a 10L60 now, or a 10L80, because you need 10 speeds. I call the Slip-O-Matic 9000s is what I call them, because when you're driving, you just feel like the transmission's slipping the whole time you're driving. It's just kind of how I feel. But yeah, these trucks are just, they were the pinpoint of where we were technologically. And as I said, everything from here after kind of was just a regurgitation of this, with more plastic, more screens, more shiny, just more stuff to break, essentially. That's what it comes down to. As for the inside of this truck, like I said, very clean. This seat's destroyed. All the other seats really clean. When we do the walk around right now, I'll show you guys the inside and the outside. We'll pop the hood. I have some stuff in the back, but we'll show it to you. But yeah, so I'm going to stop talking here. We'll get out of the truck. I'm sorry for my rant, but like I said, if you want a self-driving car, the self-driving car comes on a schedule, and it's called a bus. Just how I feel. I get it, but I don't. You're never going to talk me into it. Good. like I said, I have my list of LS motors that I do want to drop in a few cars. A Tesla is one of them. I want to do a Model S. And I'd like to do an Aztec for sure. And I'd also like to do a Fiero. I feel like that'd be a fun one to do. And there's a couple other little BS projects, but yeah, all in all, that's the only LS cars I have. And what I have also, I mean, obviously my Corvettes, this thing. I'd like an Escalade, like a 04 Escalade, and I like those too. But yeah, so 04 Avalanche here, guys. One thing I did want to note also is this thing does have the movable pedals. It's the first car I ever had with that, and it's completely useless. It doesn't really even move that much. It's kind of funny. Another thing it does have is the mirrors that fold in. Somehow there's a clicky thing you can do and the mirrors come in automatically. Totally useless. But yeah. Anyways, guys, I'll see you on the outside. Thanks for watching. And also a shout out to Gecko Hawaii. This is a vintage one. I'm just going to start wearing Gecko Hawaii for like damn near all of my videos. I love their stuff. Feels very 90s. I love the 90s, as you see. We daily drive hoopties from the 90s. I wear 90s clothing. I listen to 90s music. Pretty much the 90s were awesome. So let's just rock it 90s style in our 2000s vehicle. And I'll see you outside, all right? All right, guys. So here we are on the outside of the Avalanche. Like I said, 04. It's black. I do have like later model GMC wheels on it. I think those are like often like an 07 Tahoe. But yeah, like I said, I like that it doesn't have all the cladding on the lower portion. It's always kind of been ugly to me. It does have this. I actually we white nude it yesterday. It came out all right. It doesn't look the best, but definitely I think it's one of the better looking ones out here. But that's for the inside. I'll move my backpack here. I'm just gonna put everything in the back seat here, so you're gonna have to forgive me for my mess right there. I do want to point out my backpack is awesome. I've been kind of building this thing for a while. Yeah, it's a thing. I like airplanes. Like I said, I'm working on my pilot's license thing right now. So here's kind of my collection. Douglas is definitely my favorite manufacturer, as you clearly can tell. But here we are. I got some TWA stuff. Got some cool Air Canada stuff also. Some Pan Am. And there's that. So I mean, I've been building this backpack for a while. I carry it everywhere. It's my lifeline. All my stuff's in it. And then there's some Buffalo Airways stuff here. Like I said, Mikey definitely was the one that got me into doing this stuff. And then this Plane Saver series was just awesome. So I've been following that. So if you guys do like old planes and stuff like that, Plane Savers, check it out on YouTube. But here we are. Like I said, that seat is destroyed. But all the other seats are actually in pretty decent condition. Door cards are all in pretty good condition. I did order those. The first set I've ordered, they broke on installation. So I spent a little bit more money and got a little bit better product on that one. But here we are. Like I said, this seat is just destroyed. I might actually just wind up replacing both the top and the back, or the bottom and the back on this one. It's just, it's bad. I never noticed how bad it actually was. But yeah, it has the Avalanche rubber mats that came with it. My door card's a little bit dirty, but I'll finish cleaning that one a little bit later. But the only complaint I have on this stupid car is the back. They could have given you a little bit more tilt on the back seats, because sitting in this thing is like sitting straight up in a nightmare position, and it's just not fun. But here we are. Here's the back side of it. And I broke my handle the other day. I just ordered one on Amazon. But here's the inside. So you can tell it's got some space in there. They do give you a light on these trucks. So if you have an Avalanche and you ever wondered what this light does, or this button does, that's the light for inside the cargo hatch. And it lights that little guy up right there. So you can see I have a spare wheel in here, some Dr. Pepper. That's my goal, to get sponsored by Dr. Pepper, because I love Dr. Pepper. I know Amelia has her wish for Red Bull. Mine's Dr. Pepper. I'm sorry. I just love Dr. Pepper. It is a Z71 package truck, so I believe that means it has a some kind of suspension kit. I mean, it is off-road capable. I'm not going to bash on this thing at all, because it really does. It lives up to its word on being off-road capable in an Avalanche. But all in all, it's in pretty decent shape for 225,000 miles. And it's an 04. So for 16 years, I think this thing looks pretty decent. I don't know. What do you guys think? Tell me in the comments. Like I said, one other really cool thing that this thing has is these stupid things. These are actually coolers. I keep extra water in there because I have LS motors that like to blow up on me, and not LS motors, just LS water pumps. So I'm always paranoid, and I just keep some water in there. And this is my toolkit. I never noticed that actually has a light in there also, so that's kind of cool. So more water in the jack. One thing I never got when we bought this thing, we never got a jack with it, so I just took one out of my 97. It's not the same, but close enough. The only kind of damage that I did notice on this truck is I have a little bit of koozie here. So I have a sneaking suspicion somebody did something bad on this lower portion of this car, because I have a little bit of orange peel starting over here. I mean, you can tell the shiny is okay there with me walking in it, but right about there, you can see the line even. There's like a line right there. And you can almost see it. Like, that's where they bondoed. So I have a sneaky suspicion there's a little bit of mud here. Sorry about the sirens there, guys. But I have a little sneaking suspicion there's a little bit of mud there, but hey, what can you do? As I said, pretty clean. I did the headlight restoration thing on it not that long ago. So yeah. And then, as I was telling you about, there's that brake nightmare. Either the Hydro Boost is going bad or something. I'm not quite sure. It still stops, so close enough. As Derek from Vice Grip Garage would say, you know, I'm just going to do the right thing and ignore it. So there's that 5.3. This is a cast iron 5.3 with aluminum heads. I think it's a solid setup. In my personal opinion, I would have preferred to have cast iron heads. I like cast iron. It doesn't warp, especially when you're doing bad things and stupid things. This is why I can't have nice things, because I'm stupid. I don't like these highly tolerant, like super finicky motors, because you know what, when you're in a pinch and you gotta kind of rev it out and overheat it a little, you can't do that to these motors. They just blow up after. I've literally driven a small block 350 overheated for 10 miles and parked it and had no problems the next day. Obviously fixed my heating, my issue. I had a clogged radiator that day, but it's not a small block. It is a small block, but it's not a small block Chevy like we always used to joke about. Good trucks though. Got the Walmart EverStart. I think I keep Walmart in business on those, because I buy a lot of batteries from Walmart. But yeah, there's that 5.3 LS motor. Like I said, 4L60E transmission, Chevy badge. And this thing does have the update on the front. So this was kind of that later model thing that in Mexico, actually, you could get a Suburban with this front end. It looks really bizarre. So everything back then actually in Mexico got this front end, not just certain things. As for other things I've broken, we broke a mirror once, so that's why I got a chrome one on that side. And I know somebody's gonna ask me, so I'm just gonna tell you right now, this is a 3 VIN number, and I believe 3 means it was from Canada. Here we are. Nope, Mexico. So 1 is the US, 2 is Canada, and 3 is Mexico. So this actually is a Mexico truck. So kind of a fun little thing. Orale. Nah, I'm not that white boy. But it is kind of funny. This is a cool truck. I'm definitely, it is capable. What is up, guys? Darren here, daily driving hoopties. So we are here in my 2004 hooptie Avalanche. And just to prove, we do have a happy light, as always. This car has 222,100 miles on it right now. And we are going through doing some fun off-roading stuff here in Lake Havasu City, Arizona. It's beautiful out here, guys. It's 133 degrees out, allegedly, and yeah, we're chilling. So I'm gonna give the phone to Claire here, and we're gonna just keep driving down this valley. And I'm gonna post this as a little teaser episode for my Avalanche. And I guess what I'm gonna do is I'll do an Avalanche episode very shortly here. But this little thing is traversing through these areas incredibly. I do have a service 4-wheel drive light on, but the 4-wheel drive is still functioning, and it's functioning well. So why not? Ooh, I bottomed out there a little bit. Yeah, I mean, we're having a good time in this thing. It is doing work. I'm pretty impressed by it. I'm actually going to turn the air conditioning off because it's a lie that it's 128 out there, because it's actually pretty nice in this little valley. Would you say so?
Yeah.
I'd say so.
Probably closer to like 106, 107.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit I think it's just bringing ambient temperature in. Just cruising here, guys. We're just off-road on a little, off of Bison Street up here. So if you guys are looking for a cool place to come do some light off-roading, off Bison Street. This is all just above Lake Havasu City. Damn, we went pretty deep there, guys. Ow, fuck.
That's a good one.
Roll them up. Roll them up. Has anybody ever seen that movie? If you have seen it, quote that movie and comment it down below. All right, guys. Well, that was the episode on the Avalanche. And like I said, I think my final feelings on this thing are that it is capable. It was cheap at the time. If you can get your hands on one, I definitely highly recommend them. They're cool trucks, definitely. And as I said, this thing's fun. So thanks for watching the episode. Obviously, a little bit different of an episode. We did some driving with this thing. And it's clean. Like I said, we got them Arizona pinstripes out, and she's all cleaned up now. And just ready for some road driving. I am going to think about building an off-road vehicle soon. I have a 94 Suburban that I think it's the perfect candidate for this. So just want to say thank you for watching. Hit that like, subscribe. Again, if you guys want to reach out, feel free to reach out, DM me, comment, and we'll see you guys in the next one, all right?